Howdy folks. Well, we're back here in the wood shop again this morning and working with this new hollowing system, and I thought about it quite a bit over the course of last night, and a couple of questions have arisen. One, people want to know how the apparatus attaches to the lathe, and it attaches right here with this. You set this on here and tighten this down, and that secures this whole apparatus to the lathe. So I thought about, I made this bowl, and it actually turned out not too badly, and I have to admit that some of this turning inside here was done, I did by the old-fashioned method. I just pushed this thing aside and got my tools out and worked on it. One nice thing about this lathe is that it will operate in both directions. It can operate in reverse or it can operate in forward. And sometimes the wood grain cuts cleaner one direction than the other. I don't normally work in reverse on it, but with this it's fairly easy. This particular, set this up here, the cutter head has to be turned slightly one way or another. So if the machine is turning in this direction and we bring this in here, the cutting edge comes right up against there, and in this particular case it does cut it a little cleaner than working in the forward mode. However, getting used to using this thing is kind of like if you think about learning to drive a car with the clutch the first time. There's a lot of jumps and starts, and you kill the motor and that sort of thing. So we're trying to work through those things, and I'm gonna basically done turning this, but right up here at the edge there's some spots that need touching up, and this would be a great way to do it, but it's a little bit it's a little touchy. You got to be sure you don't let the clutch out too fast. So we're turning here at about 1,000 RPMs, and we're going to be turning in reverse. So we come across here and we just very lightly thing is very sensitive, very easy to take too much and gouge it. So let's see how we've done here. Now I can feel a shoulder right in this area. So I think we'll try and do a little more, although what usually happens is that it's very difficult to get it. So it's a nice smooth progression. Some of the final finishing you have to leave to the sandpaper. However, nobody likes the sand. And the less you have sand, better off you like it. So typically you try and get as many of the machine marks and tool marks out of there as you can. And that's about as good as we're going to do with tools. Now we have a little time left here. The outside I have sanded previously, and that is something too, that this apparatus could be used to work on the outside of the bowl too. And there might be some times when that would work good. And with this particular piece, much easier for me to do it on the outside with my hand tools. And in fact, this whole project would be easier to do with hand tools. So this exercise was kind of a practice. What the main thing here is that you could get longer vessels, like a vase, and you could get in here with that and clean them out. So that's the main reason that that thing was, that hollowing system is valuable. We're going to try and take just a few minutes here. We got a few minutes left in this segment, and we'll try to sand some of this out here. Normally, and I typically want to sand it forward. Normally I'd be wearing a dust respirator to do this, but I don't have it here right here with me. So I'm gonna well, there's some bad spots in here. I don't think the camera will pick that up. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. Unlikely to get most of that turned out of there without actually deforming the top. So I think what I'll do is go to a little smaller that we can get in there a little closer with, and see if we can get some of that out of there. Well, I got some of it out. We'll see how good here. Well, not bad. Still has some rough spots there. We'll give her another shot here. The other thing I wanted to say was thanks again, everybody. Appreciate you remembered my birthday. You know, isn't every day you get to be 48 years old. So I do appreciate it. And I'm looking here. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's see. Right here, there's some really rough spots. It appears they appear white on the camera. The reason it's so tough to get those spots out of there is because it's grain that didn't cut cleanly, and it tore it when the cutter came across, and it's lower than the rest of the surface. So to get those out of there, you actually have to take everything around it all the way around down and sometimes it's a fair amount before you can get it all out. So we're going to keep going here a couple times and see if we can get some more of that out of there. Once we get the finish on, it will be fairly obscured, but not completely. Well, we pretty near got all of it, actually. Just a touch there, a little more of it here. So, rather than have you watch all this, it's just a matter of grinding away at it. And then we'll go to some finer grits and smooth this up. And then this bowl will be done. It's actually, although it's very plain. It is a piece of cottonwood, and it is a piece of cottonwood burl. So it turns really hard, and that's why we get the torn grain, and it makes it a job to to clean it up and get it so it's nice and smooth. But anyway, all in all, the hollowing system is a success. Very pleased with it. There's one other thing perhaps I could show you. We got a minute left here. This comes with two cutter heads, and this one is called a gooseneck, and it fits on here, and it's so that you can come in and undercut, like in a pot or a vase that had a narrow top but a wider middle. So that's another tool that comes with it. Quite nice. They come with the ends protected. So I think that's going to do it. Again, thanks. And we're still sheltering here. Looks like Iowa may, before too long, open it up a little bit. And I'm hoping it ain't too soon, but I'm anxious to see it happen. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Have a good day.